Please remain standing and render courtesy for our national anthem.
Bow for the invocation. Eternal Creator, we are gathered here for this time of celebration. We thank you for our time together here. This is a time of remembering and a time of thanksgiving for the learning and the experiences of the past. This is a time of anticipation of a new beginning into our future. And this is a time of passing from the old into the new. We are grateful for all the friends we have made, for all the days of laughter and fun, and for all the times of great discovery and learning. And we are grateful for all the trials and tribulations that have helped us grow. We thank you for all those who have given of their energy and their skill so that we may graduate today. We are thankful for our teachers, our leaders, our friends and companions, as well as our mentors. We remember our family and the loved ones as we thank you for them and give them all to you by prayer. As this chapter of our life closes, so a new one begins. We present ourselves like an open book before you. Guide us with all of your spirit into our lives as we transition into that future. Fill our minds with your thoughts. Fill our bodies with your strength. Fill our hearts with your dreams. And guide us that we may eternally love and serve you and all whom we encounter in our life's journey. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Bignell. Please be seated. On behalf of the Corps of Cadets of the New Mexico Military Institute, the faculty and staff, and the thousands of alumni around the world, welcome to our 2021 commencement ceremony. It is my privilege to introduce the 19th President and Superintendent of the New Mexico Military Institute, Major General Jerry Grizzle, United States Army, retired.
Welcome to the 2021 Spring Commencement at New Mexico Military Institute. My wife Shawn and I are delighted to be with you for this most important occasion for two reasons. First, we're glad to have the opportunity to meet and greet with you, our family and friends of our newest graduates, members of our faculty and staff, and especially you, our graduates. Second, the opportunity for us to celebrate our 12th graduation ceremony, our 24th if you count our midterm graduation, since coming to NMMI. Shawn and I have many friends, and they ask us if we get tired of the routine of being the president and the first lady of NMMI. We answer emphatically no. The events may be the same, but the faces change every year. Just as we look forward to August and the arrival of over 500 new rats, we look forward to December and May when we say farewell to over 200 of our successful cadets moving on to the next phase of their life. From those faces of wonder and amazement in August to those faces of pride and self-confidence in December and May, we have enjoyed our 12 years at NMMI and look forward to each new year. Joining us today are members of our NMMI Board of Regents, our President, Mr. Brad Christmas, Mr. John Garcia, our Treasurer, Miss Maria Christina Montoya, and Mr. Alan Edmondson. Thank you for being here to honor these superb young men and women, our graduates, and thank you for making my 12th year more memorable than the others and every bit as enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you, General President. NMMI is about culture and tradition. Our culture is that of a military school, and one of our cherished military traditions is recognition of outstanding performance that is in keeping with our motto, duty, honor, and achievement. Recognizing the Salutatorian and Valedictorian of the respective classes is part of that tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, the Salutatorian of the first class, Jesse Davis Turley, Tijeras, New Mexico.
Good morning, fellow graduates, parents, staff, and New Mexico Military Institute alum. I'm Second Lieutenant Turley. Although I'm up here being recognized for my academic achievement today, I would like to speak to you not as a scholar, but as a human being. Not as anything else but a peer, a friend. I'm truly honored and humbled to be able to stand up here and be afforded the opportunity to speak about my time spent here at the New Mexico Military Institute. I'd first like to take some time to appreciate this moment, which signifies so much for everyone here today. For graduates, this ceremony represents the hard work each of us have put into our personal and professional development for the last 2 to 6 years we have been here. For parents and faculty, it exemplifies their dedication and persistence in teaching and guiding each of the graduates who stand here today as strong men and women. Without you all, we would not be here today. So at the time I've been awarded now, I would like to reflect with you on some of the common experiences we have shared here at the Old Post. Just like most cadets, I came here with the hope of discovering new opportunities and possibilities. I wasn't sure exactly what it would all entail, but I knew it was the right direction I needed to go. Upon entering, things were rough. Besides Mel's having our hair shaved, learning the customs and courtesies of a military school, and changing our entire way of living, it wasn't easy adjusting to it all. For most of us, it meant leaving home and everything we ever knew in the rearview mirror. It meant uncertainty. I think we can all agree we miss certain individuals back at home, but throughout the grind, through each push-up, we became stronger and we were able to make the NMMI way of life our own way of life. And in doing so, we expanded our horizons by meeting new people who are and will become lifelong friends. And we made it. We made it. We made it through it all because we are sitting here today. So just like any good journey, it's not always about how things start, but where they take you in life. As I entered my last few weeks on post, everything has been fast-paced as it always been here. At times it feels like I get so caught up in everything that I'm doing that I forget how to live life. Finals week was no different. It's so easy to just get swept away by it all. However, as I found time to take a step back and review it all, a rush of unique emotions has overwhelmed me. I can recall the sunset a few nights ago that ignited the sky in a beautiful display of fluorescent orange and purple. I couldn't help but to take it all in. In that moment, It felt as if my entire time spent here flashed by my mind in a single moment. All the people I've met, the things I've done, the good and the bad. So as the sun will set for the final time of the day, so is our time here at NMMI. It may be the sign of the end of one journey, but it also signals a promise for one in the future. So as I reflect on my time here at NMMI, I'm awestruck about how a place like this can unite a group such as ourselves, no matter our differences or where we have come from in life, to work and function as a single body. I'm content today as this ceremony may be one of the last times we'll be united as a group together. Some of us will transfer to another four-year college, some will stay here and continue their college education here, while others will serve this great nation in which we live with selflessness of military service. We will each have to continue our own journey in life, but NMMI has been a common factor in each of our lives, so no matter where we go in life, we will carry on the legacy of duty, honor, and achievement. Through this school, all of us, no matter how different we may be, have been afforded the opportunities to grow and share experiences together. But like all good things in life, we must each take our next step into the unknown and move on to bigger and better things. But as we progress ahead, we will always have the memories which we have made here. I can assure you that marching at the break of dawn, the NCOs yelling at you to correct your deficiencies, the late nights and early mornings of studying, the attention to detail spent on everything we have done will not go in vain. Through each of these moments of constant correction, we have developed into individuals who will not only lead our own lives, but the lives of others. In the moment, we all know how easy it is to just go through the motions from day to day. But as you will soon see, it has developed us more than any of our peers. I'm glad as I look out over each of you and that I was able to spend some of my life with you. So as we toast to a new future, I would like to share some things that we must all remember when things get rough and we don't know whether we make it or not. I can assure you we can. And I say that not as a man who is perfect nor ever will be. I've made my fair share of mistakes and have not always made the best of decisions. I have not always been a good person, but through my mistakes and regrets, I have learned more about myself than the days when everything was perfect. Life is not perfect or fair, and it never will be. But if we can play our cards right, we can make the most of what we were given. As long as we can look into the mirror each day and know what we're doing everything in our power to make the community around us better, we cannot fail. Lastly, I'd like to take a moment to say on behalf of the Corps of Cadets the biggest thank you to the teachers, faculty, and staff for the dedication they have had throughout their time spent at NMMI and the service of students. I know many sacrifices have been made on your behalf for our sake, and I would like to recognize those efforts. Many would do anything in their power to service my needs or the needs of others, and in doing so, each of you have demonstrated what it means to be a selfless leader at a school known for making them. I cannot stress enough how much you have impacted my life, as well as the lives of each of the graduates here today. Your legacy will live on as we continue this journey of life. I would also like to thank my parents for the endless amounts of support and love they have given me throughout my entire life. I'm not sure if I'd be here today if it weren't for both of you guys motivating me to keep going, especially for my mother, who gave me the encouragement on the nights I needed it the most when I felt like giving up. So, as we all go into the next chapter of this thing called life, we will be ready. NMMI has taught us that there's more we can be, more we can do, and more that we can ever imagine. As we grow older, we will always have a part of us here. With that, I encourage you to leave this place and conquer your own journey of life. May God bless you and enjoy this day. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Turley. At NMMI, the highest academically ranked graduate in the class is recognized as the class valedictorian. This year we have 3. I would like to recognize 3 exceptional cadets. Please stand as you're called. Thomas Michael Blaylock, Luther, Oklahoma. Nathaniel Vincent Garrite, Battleground, Washington. And Jeremy Castillo Pasamonte, Eva Beach, Hawaii. Cadet Pasamonte has decided not to give a speech, so we will have 2. Cadet Blaylock, if you join us.
NMMI class of 2021. Please take a moment to think of the one thing during your time here that has impacted you the most. It could be a person, like Major Tabo, who's always been there for us, hiding behind a bush. It could be a project you labored over for hours, like your bed. Or it could be anything else. A lot has transpired throughout our time here, and we have plenty of material to draw from. For me, the answer to that question is a specific lesson I learned. Do not make up the rules. I'll explain what I mean by that later, but for now, I like to talk about the people we all have to thank, and then the lessons our experiences here have taught us. Before I move on, let us thank the people who have challenged us and helped us persevere through this institute, and those who took the time today to support us in our graduation. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Christmas, President of the Board of Regents, and everybody's families for coming here today to share this special moment with us. Thank you, Superintendent Major General Grizzle, Academic Dean Brigadier General Murray, Vice Dean Colonel Porras, Commandant of Cadets Colonel Tate, and all of our academic facilitators, professors, and commandant staff for helping us, the class of 2021, develop discipline, passion, leadership, and perseverance, and for enabling us to stand out in society by shaving us bald. Thank you, Major Nadaya, for not only teaching us math, but also for demonstrating passion and determination in helping us improve. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Garza and Lieutenant Colonel MacArthur, for giving me leadership experience and a chance to make an impact, experience which will help me serve well in the military. Thank you, Senior Chief Scott, for doing everything in your power to help me earn an appointment to the Air Force Academy. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for not screwing up too badly when raising me. And most importantly, thank you, God, for giving me the gifts needed to achieve this honor and the much needed will to carry on. Which leads me to the biggest shared experience by the class of 2021, the perpetual discipline, also known as the close, constant, kindly supervision. I remember the time last semester when the Corps would fall into formation, eager to begin another beautiful day in the desert of Roswell, New Mexico. And instead of sounding off what we were supposed to, when called to attention by the squadron commander, everybody would say, "Send us home!" A week later, NMMI responded, "Okay, we'll send you home. Except your home is your room and you can't leave." As you know, they then quarantined the entire Corps in their rooms. The academics here have been more difficult than any other school I've attended. Life here has not been easy, but through endless work and endless formations, as a group, we learned to persevere. Personally, my journey has taught me something more. This past semester specifically reminds me of something my grandfather used to always say to me: do not make up the rules. I came to this institute last fall with a mission to earn an appointment to the Air Force Academy. I did not originally come here to graduate. Did that mean I shouldn't try? Once Senior Chief Scott mentioned that an academy prep once before had graduated as co-valedictorian in 1 year, I began to wonder, what if that could be me? I knew it was improbable at best, but doubt and apathy crept up, saying I would not achieve that goal, that I shouldn't try. But those words my grandfather used to say always rang in my ear. Do not make up the rules. Do not make up the rules. Do not make up the rules. Back then, and still now, I choose to be ambitious. I choose to not limit myself, and I choose to not make up rules about what I can and cannot achieve. Somewhere along the road, class of 2021, I know you looked ahead at your options and asked yourself, am I good enough to accomplish this? Maybe I should go for something more realistic. And the fact that you are here today tells me, when the army of doubt advanced, you held your ground. When it continued to attack day after day, you persevered. You chose to be ambitious. You chose to not limit yourself. You chose to not make up the rules. You chose to come here, where you would have to spend over 50 hours rubbing a shoe. So, moving into your careers in the military, or in civilian life, or to another college, remember that the only limit to what you can achieve is the one you set there yourself. Do not make up the rules. Winston Churchill once said, "To every man there comes in his lifetime that special moment when he is figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to him and fitted to his talents. What a shame if that moment finds him unprepared or unqualified for that which would be his finest hour." NMMI class of 2021, because you chose to not make up the rules, you are now prepared. You are now qualified. Let's remember to not limit ourselves and continue to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Lewa. Please join me in welcoming Cadet Garrite for his remarks.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank the families that have joined us here today, my fellow graduates for supporting me. I honestly could not have gone up here without your support, especially from Gary Owen's squadron, the cadre that are there, and of course the TOAs, the teachers, the faculty. I'd like to send out a special thanks to a few. Captain Doherty, she really supported me throughout 3rd Squadron, held to a Kilo Troop, a really good job. Furthermore, thank you to my Chinese professor, Major Weber. He was the only teacher that I've had every single semester and has taught me a lot about not only giving me passion in learning another language, but also giving me passion in academics and so forth. And then I'd like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Johnson, which I don't know if he's out there in the crowd today, but thank you if you're watching. Hello, sir. And then also Master Sergeant Rivera, Mr. Solis, Jason Garcia, Colonel Jason Garcia. He recruited me here. I would not be here today if it wasn't for him. We have learned a lot while attending New Mexico Military Institute. Anywhere from trying to balance staying up till midnight, studying, and waking up 04:30 to get ready for PT in the morning, they're learning how to talk to the TOAs to reduce the number of tours you have to march. I know some of y'all do that. But honestly, if you had asked me 3 years ago, or you were going to tell me that I'd be going to NMMI, I would have said who? I did not know about this institute until 3 years ago. But one thing I can say for sure is that I'm extremely glad I went here. The special bond that I've created with everybody that has gone to this institute is irreplaceable. And through our battle with COVID-19 and this environment to try and provide us with a better education and future, I'm sure at least a few of you can remember myself or another cadet yelling at somebody put on their mask during the most intense parts of the quarantine. Of course, everything's relaxed a little bit, but everyone's still wearing masks out there. So that kind of tough environment has improved our unit cohesiveness or our bond with one another. I'm not just talking to my fellow ECP lieutenants or everyone in 3rd Squadron, but us as a class of 2021. What we have gone through as a group is extremely important. I can say with the utmost certainty from talking with all of you that I respect each and every one of you. And honestly, I view you guys as a family. And of course, as siblings, some of us bicker and argue sometimes, but everyone up here on this, in the crowd today, you guys are my family. I mean that. It's honestly strange how the decisions we make lead us to the places we had never even heard of, as I mentioned before. But because of this family, and because of the bonds I created with each and every one of you, even if we've only had a parting conversation, I'm honored to be standing up here and be a graduate of New Mexico Military Institute. From the long conversations I've had with friends such as Jesse Turley and Robert Kammerer, to me and Pearson hyping each other up at PT. Even at times we were frustrated with the new recruits or peers we had to deal with daily with no breaks, being in quarantine. I was glad I was here. Without being here, I would have never have met all the wonderful people here today. And yes, I will to a certain extent miss the loud music my roommates played every single night as they keenly reminded me at 11 o'clock. To a certain extent. I will most certainly miss certain members of faculty sneaking in food for me, and I'm sure some of the people we've received some as well. I will miss hearing the squadron of people I grew with and learned from yelling thundering third every formation. I will miss calling Morales and Jimenez during the night to find out what was going on with the schedule as we try to get information. I will miss the surprise visits from Higgins for no other reason but I was in the area. I'll miss that. We have learned a lot through dealing with all these challenges relating to academics, athletics, ROTC, and of course the Corps. The 4-hour night of sleep club is too well known to us. We learned how to hold our tongue back after being thrown against the fire day in and day out with no furloughs and being stressed to the max. We know how to have fun with each other when things have gone rough and how to support another student when they are feeling down. Above all else though, we have learned the will to move forward and keep pushing. There is surely sometimes when you thought about giving up on either an aspect or all of this school. I know I did, especially my first month coming here. I was scared, came from Washington. I didn't even know that the state of New Mexico existed. No offense to anyone that grew up here. I'm joking, of course. I knew New Mexico existed. However, it is a testimony to your own character and strengths that you stand here among us. And if I have to give one parting sentence to everybody here, is when things get rough, grit your teeth and push forward, for time will never stop for anybody. And if that fails, then you have this family, our family, to rely on. Thank you, class of 2021.
Thank you, Cadet Garrett. Mr. Brad Christmas will now introduce our guest speaker.
First, I want to congratulate the class of 2021 and a truly special congratulations to all of you who took the oath of office to serve in our U.S. military. Thank you very much. Your services are appreciated. Brigadier General Douglas J. Murray, United States Air Force retired, assumed the responsibilities of Dean of Academics and Chief Academic Officer, New Mexico Military Institute, 1 April 2007. General Murray's distinguished 42-year Air Force career in strategic operations, intelligence policy planning, education, administration, and leadership began with his graduation in 1965 from the Georgetown University School of Foreign Service, Washington, D.C. With a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service in 1970, he received his Master of Arts degree in Government, History, and Anthropology from the Institute of Latin American Studies at the University of Texas, Austin. He then completed his Doctor of Philosophy in Internal Relations, Comparative Politics, and Defense Policy in 1979 from the Graduate School of Government at the University of Texas, Austin. General Murray came to New Mexico Military Institute from the United States Air Force Academy. He served as the division chairman of the Service Academy's equivalent to a civilian university dean. His major awards include the Defense Superior Service Medal, Legion of Merit, two Oak Leaf Clusters, Meritorious Service Medal, and one Oak Leaf Cluster. I cannot say enough about what General Murray has brought to New Mexico Military Institute, and you all well know the quality of education he's brought here. I wish to present General Douglas Murray.
Sir, thank you for the generous introduction and kind words. It's good to see you all here, and I want to pick up on the point that was just made. We're talking about commitment, and we're talking about service, and we're talking about those kinds of things. I'd like to begin to recognize those cadets here who were commissioned yesterday, 26 in all. They will be going off into the U.S. Army National Guard and or reserves. Would you please stand up and be recognized at this time? Please be seated. Members of the Board of Regents, General Grizzle, invited guests, parents and friends, those who are out there in the internet watching us, we welcome you as well. And of course, we welcome the graduates of this important class. You heard, or may have heard, that I will be retiring at the end of this academic year. In my 78 years, I've had two careers. I would characterize it really as two missions, each with a specific commission. Though I would add that intricately they were related. One commission was with the U.S. Air Force to meet its mission to fly and fight. The other was with the NMMI to develop leaders. This morning, I want to share with you not my missions, but yours. You see, it's not only those young men and women who stood up that are being commissioned in this class of 2021. You might be surprised to learn that today, as you receive your degree as a graduate of NMMI, you are all committing to a mission and the commission to accept it. So what does it mean to receive a commission? Vocabulary.com states, in its most basic meaning, commission is the act of passing a responsibility to someone else. The Free Dictionary states a commission is a duty or task committed to a person or group to perform. It is an authority to undertake or perform certain duties or functions. Let me ask you, do you see the core values, duty, honor, and achievement inherent in those definitions? What if we were to put it this way? A duty to achieve with honor. A duty to achieve with honor. Robert Kennedy liked to say that the future is not a gift, it is an achievement. The concept of commission entails commitment, service, and leadership, common to both commissions. Those received by the ECP cadets yesterday and you today is a commitment to serve. For them, it's in the armed forces of the nation. For you, the nature of that service is yet to be determined. But it will happen. For when you decided to come to NMMI, you elected, as I told you at matriculation in the words of Robert Frost, to take the roads less traveled, for it would lead to the opportunity to learn and develop the knowledge, skills, and values and competencies required of one who must lead. In a real sense, your commission is to lead and serve, and not coincidentally, that is the mission of NMMI. The award-winning American print and broadcast journalist and author of the book, You Are What You Tweet, Germany Kent wrote, quote, "You become what you focus on. Your focus becomes your work. Your work becomes your life. What you do with your life will become your legacy." When you came here, you made a commitment that a few others of your high school classmates did not. The place that less traveled road is taking you, you will find the place where it ends is your mission. The commission of which I in Germany speak provides the why of life. But if you know the why, you will have less difficulty to determine the what or the how. This was perhaps better expressed by Wes Moore, who as a young man sat where you sat, not in this school, but one like it, at a school like NMMI, Valley Forge, a military junior college where he graduated and went on to a 4-year college, and like some of you, commissioned through ECP, one of you all. He then served in Afghanistan, was a Rhodes Scholar, and served in the White House. That, my friends, can be you. He said this about a commission in service, quote, "Success and service are increasingly intertwined. To be clear, service doesn't necessarily mean running for office, suiting up in a military uniform, or volunteering for a charity, although it might. Service simply means we embrace the possibility of living for more than ourselves." And I would add, is not this what NMMI has been all about? He continues, "I'm convinced that most of the time, that's what the voice inside us is calling us to do, to live for more than ourselves. I think it's the truth that hunts us down, our common calling, and when we answer that call, we'll find that the world's challenges and our own work eventually meet. That is exactly what will be set in motion when you accept that degree and accept that calling, the commission that you have been pursuing since you came here. After all, that is the outcome of these past 2 years, or more for those who have attended high school here, as well as those 7 dual graduates who this morning received a high school diploma and will be receiving a degree in a few moments. Would they please stand, those 7, and be recognized to this audience? Thank you. The clear outcome, however, for all of you is about education, training, experience, mind, body, soul, all about preparation for leadership. Today, the need for leadership is greater at every level, local, state, national, global, and most significantly, even in the family, than it has ever been before. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal titled, "Can the West Still Lead?" points out, today, however, the West finds itself in an existential crisis. Its role as a global beacon is in doubt, and institutions such as NATO are, in the words of the French President Emmanuel Macron, brain dead. In his book, Lee Iacocca asked the question, "Where have all the leaders gone?" I never met Mr. Lee Iacocca, but if I did, my answer to him would be, come to Roswell, come to NMMI, and see those leaders being developed. Please remember, what makes NMMI unique makes you unique. That class of 2021 is your commission. That, in the definition which I just quoted, and again, the act of passing a responsibility, the duty, the task to achieve. If America in this century is to be what it was in the last century, it must learn to lead again. That can begin here, and it can begin with you. Let me repeat, what makes you unique makes NMMI unique. However, as Germany Kent warns, when people find their calling and receive their commission, the enemy will appear to hinder the fulfillment of this mission. Just ask Luke Skywalker. In the most recent Star Wars trilogy, we can see what happens when one relinquishes their commission, rejects the mission, and even fails as the mission is not met. And as our own mission statement says, educate, train, and prepare others to take it. Do you remember from earlier films in the series that despite saving the galaxy, Han and Leia, Kylo's parents, were unable to rebuild a new republic out of the ashes of the Empire? The new trilogy, however, introduces characters that are not able or willing to assume responsibility to educate the next generation, concerned that they cannot take up the task. Luke is no longer the young hero, for he has seen how he has failed to prevent the resurgence of that which he most feared, the dark side. As a result, he does not even train Rey, concerned that she will follow Kylo to the dark side. In one climactic scene, Luke screams to Yoda, The tree that texts the Jedi, I'm going to burn it all down. General Douglas MacArthur said it simply, age wrinkles the body, quitting wrinkles the soul. The Luke we want to celebrate is the Luke of the first Star Wars trilogy, the one trained by Yoda and who wants to train others. So let me ask you now, with which Luke, with which Rey will you be in answering your call? And this is critically important for your class of being educated, trained, and developed to be leaders in the midst of a pandemic. Not since World War II have we lived in a more perilous time that affects the entire globe, and no classes since those graduating from NMMI during and immediately following that war have faced a greater challenge to this nation. You must realize that your class, the class of 2021, like those, as I said, in the class of 2020 and immediately classes following you, have a special mission, and there was reference to that in the presentations you heard from our valedictorian. A special mission to use the knowledge, skills, experience, and habits that you have acquired here to ensure that the ultimate outcome of this pandemic does not alter those principles, beliefs, rights, organizations, and processes that have made this nation what it is and has been for more than 2 centuries. In the lyrics of one of my favorite songs by Roger Whittaker, who describes that America, he sings, I'm not going to sing it, you can be fortunate, but this is the words: a land where wonders never cease, a giant land where decent men can live in peace. Former Dwight David Eisenhower in 1952, remembering his first day at West Point, where in 4 years he would receive his commission, put it this way. He said, a feeling came over me that the expression the United States of America would now and henceforth mean something different than it had ever before. From here on, it would be the nation I would be serving, not myself. When your class returns to Old Post for a reunion in the years ahead, no doubt you will be remembered as the class that graduated in the pandemic of 2020-2021. But more than that, I predict you will be remembered as the class that made history by accepting that special mission and getting it done. And in doing so, brought a source of light in a world suddenly shrouded by the pandemic's darkness, as a source of warmth in a world struck cold by the hand of fear. You see, this is not the time simply for inspiring words, but rather for great deeds. No graduating class from NMMI in the past century, with the exception of the graduating classes of World War II, have been faced with the challenge and given the opportunity to meet it. But your class has that and makes you special in this graduation. In closing, a very personal note, if you would. It has been a distinct honor for me not only to speak to you today as your graduation speaker, but also to have served as your dean. As I mentioned, this will be my last graduation. Actually, if you include those at mid-year, as General Griswold was pointing out, the number is like 30. When I came here in 2007, like the entering class of that year, I was referred to as the Rat Dean, and they wanted to know if I could do a push-up. So in one sense now, I'm retiring, or you might say graduating with the class of 2021. The difference, of course, it didn't take you 14 years. In speaking about World War II, I should mention that being born in 1943, my parents, as an expression of their patriotic support for the U.S. war effort, named me in honor of 2 of the great generals of that war. 2, by the way, that I just referenced, Dwight David Eisenhower and Douglas MacArthur. Earlier, I shared with you Eisenhower's memory of his first day at West Point. I want to conclude my remarks with what MacArthur said at his last day at West Point. That what he told the cadets at that time. Inherent in the message of both is the acceptance by the West Point Corps of Cadets a responsibility to a mission of service to this nation or commission. That has had an enduring impact on their memory and life. This is what Douglas MacArthur told those cadets. The shadows are lengthening for me. The twilight is here. My days of old have vanished, tone and tint. They have gone glimmering through the dreams of things that were their memory. That memory is one of wondrous beauty, watered by tears and coaxed and carelessly by the smiles of yesterday. I listen vainly for the witching melody of faint bugles, glowing reveille of far drums beating the long roll. In my dreams I hear again the crash of guns, the rattle of musketry, the strange mournful mutters of the battlefield. But in the evening of my memory, always I come back to West Point. Always there echoes and re-echoes. Duty, honor, country. Today marks my final roll call with you, but I want you to know that when I cross the river, my last conscious thoughts will be of the Corps and the Corps. Do those words, his words, resonate with you? Perhaps speak to you? What you did at NMMI will create an enduring memory of this Corps. For me, they do, and that is what I shall miss. But even more important, will they inspire you to accept that commission to complete that special mission or calling in life of which I spoke, and use what you have learned and experienced here at NMMI to serve others through that calling. Finally, I'd like to share with you a prayer that you might adopt when facing what seems an insurmountable obstacle or just persevering in a pandemic, as you have been doing. Lord, help me to remember that nothing is going to happen to me today that you and I together can't help me to preserve and persevere. May God bless each of you and all at NMMI, all who learn here and provide that learning. Again, I thank you very much. It's been an honor and privilege, and I look to be a part of you as you will always be a part of me.
General Grizzle has a gift for the speaker.
I think most, certainly the cadets and anyone affiliated with NMMI would recognize the Sally Port as the most recognizable feature on the post. And so we want to give you a framed picture of the Sally Port. Also, I want to include my coins. I normally would give those to you in the traditional shake and turn the coin over to you, but we want to frame them so you'll have the front and back of the coin. And so we hope you'll take that with you to your new home and reflect it in a proper place.
Yes, sir. I didn't know how to do this.
The end of an era, to be sure. Ladies and gentlemen, candidates for graduation, I'm honored to present our Dean of Academics and Chief Academic Officer, Brigadier General Douglas Murray, United States Air Force, retired.
And you didn't know that they cloned people, did you? Members of the board of this is what I get paid for now. This is what I get paid for. And this is fantastic to do this. Members of the Board of Regents, Major General Grizzle, and all here present. As the Dean of Faculty, I am proud to introduce and present to entering class and present to you entering class in 1991 and numbered, let me put it this way, the entering class in 1891 numbered 38. Today's graduates number 144, of which 91 are junior college graduates, and 53 are high school graduates who graduated earlier this morning. Among the 91 junior college graduates are the 26 newly commissioned U.S. Army second lieutenants that we recognized a few minutes ago. The 156 today graduates joined the 12 members of what I always call the advanced team of the class who graduated in November 2020. Also in that November group were 3 recent commissioned second lieutenants, to make a total of 156. Fantastic commitment to this nation. So now, I ask you to please look at your programs if you would, and you will see in the program the names of each graduate and the place where they will pursue the next phase of their education. Students who show particular distinction in scholarship at NMMI are offered the opportunity to graduating with highest honors, with high honors and honors. The names of those individuals are identified in your program in the graduation order of merit and will receive their degree in that same order. To graduate with highest honors, a cadet must graduate with at least a 3.75 GPA. Will the graduates with the highest honors please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. To graduate with high honors, a cadet must graduate with at least a 3.5 GPA. Will the graduates with high honors please rise and be recognized? And to graduate with honors, a cadet must graduate with at least a 3.25. Will those graduates with honors please rise and be recognized? Now I'm going to ask all the graduates, all of you, will you please rise and remain standing? As the Chief Academic Officer of the New Mexico Military Institute, I confirm to the President and members of the Board of Regents and the President and Superintendent of NMMI that each of these young men and women have successfully completed a rigorous and challenging course of studies that has prepared them mentally, physically, and morally to become leaders of character and go on to the next level of their education. To each of you, in the name of your faculty, TLAs, coaches, and staff, we offer our sincere congratulations. We could not be more proud of what you have accomplished, but more significantly, what you will accomplish in achieving that special mission. Therefore, by the authority granted to me by the state of New Mexico, through the New Mexico Military Institute Board of Regents and the Superintendent, I hereby confer upon you the Associate of Arts degree and the Associate of Science degree with all the privileges and rights pertaining thereto. Graduates, please be seated.
Mr. Brad Christmas, President of the Board of Regents, will now present the degrees. Joining Mr. Brad Christmas are Major General Grizzle, President and Superintendent, Brigadier General Douglas Murray, Dean of Academics and Chief Academic Officer, Colonel Jose Porras, Vice Dean of Academics and High School Principal, and Colonel Thomas Tate, Commandant of Cadets and Dean of Students. Colonel Danny Armijo will be awarding an alumni coin to all graduates as they exit the stage. Major Carlos Marujo, NMMI alumnus and NMMI advisor, will read the names today. Colonel McVeigh, please bring forward the junior college candidates.
Okay.
Valedictorian, Thomas Michael Blaylock. Second Lieutenant Nathaniel Vincent Guarte, Battleground, Washington. Second Lieutenant Jeremy Castillo Pasamonte, Ewa Beach, Hawaii. Salutatorian, Second Lieutenant Jesse Davis Turley, Tijeras, New Mexico. Graduating with highest honors, Santiago Morat Lopez Baca, Mexico City, Mexico. Demetra Monet Uibari, Socorro, New Mexico. Alejandra Patricia Silva Alvarez, Culican, Sinaloa, Mexico. Jose Miguel Reynoso Mazoy, San Andres Cholula, Puebla, Mexico. Delinda Cassie Moore, San Antonio, Texas. Second Lieutenant Robert Lloyd Kamer, the fourth, Herndon, Texas. Graduating with high honors, Jessica Jimenez Piredes, Fort Benning, Georgia. Second Lieutenant Kayla Ann Dill, Severn, Maryland. Alejandro Lopez, Agua Prieta, Sonora, Mexico. Second Lieutenant William Jeffrey Higgins, APO, Armed Forces, Europe. Victoria Lynn Price, Roswell, New Mexico. Taryn Kale Nikitas McKinstry, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Tyler Andrew Space, Warrenton, Virginia. Cristiana Hisuk, Leviano, Bosnia Herzegovina. Graduating with honors, Daniel Jacob Shapiro, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Kelsey Ann Smith, Capitan, New Mexico. Victor Santos Jimenez, Round Rock, Texas. Luis Hector Silva Alvarez, Culican, Sinaloa, Mexico. Jeremiah Clayton Barr, Franklin, Tennessee. Second Lieutenant Christina Rose Chernoff, Number 5, Portland, Oregon. Furaha Kariodede Kugali, Rwanda. Second Lieutenant Andrew Sue, Hubert, North Carolina. Aniston Claire Bill, Phoenix, Arizona. Christian Blaze Bittner, Andrews, Texas. Patrick Mwundapali, Lusaka, Zambia. Junior college graduates. Aurelio Anthony Almeida, Roswell, New Mexico. Mauricio Andres Anayel Cadillon, Puerto Penasco, Sonora, Mexico. Second Lieutenant Sterling Barker, San Angelo, Texas. Tegan Amaya Blue Eyes, Kirtland, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Ryan Michael Borg, Bristol, Rhode Island. Jalil Javon Hernandez Brown, Roswell, New Mexico. Taryn Ray Barola, Roswell, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Samantha Ray Carranza, El Centro, California. Mario Cesar Chican Jr., El Paso, Texas. Kehlani Akidaba Charlie, Flagstaff, Arizona. Antonio Walter Cordova, Las Vegas, New Mexico. Adrian Felix, Madalena de Quino, Sonora, Mexico. Helene Valencia Felipe, Taylorsville, Utah. Aiden Nathaniel Garcia, Mora, New Mexico. Tiffany Michelle Gospel, Cedar Park, Texas.
Second Lieutenant Nathan Holonick Geisbert, Oro Valley, Arizona. Nicole Jakar Goder Price, St. George's, Bermuda. Second Lieutenant Charles Isidor Tedena Jimenez, Modesto, California. Julia Mary Johnson, McHenry, Illinois. Anthony Tyler Kleinko, Muscalero, New Mexico. Justin Michael Lawrence, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Robert Brandon Loya, El Paso, Texas. Second Lieutenant Victoria Stephanie Mapu, Pago Pagos, American Samoa. Second Lieutenant Zachary James Martin, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Elias Antonio Morales, El Paso, Texas. Second Lieutenant Ricardo Nuno Jr., Moreno Valley, California. Second Lieutenant Amari Olgades, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Diego Miguel Olivas, Mora, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Jerome Christopher Pearson, Kansas City, Missouri. Eddie Nathan Perez, Roswell, New Mexico. Second Lieutenant Jose Luis Preciado, South Almonte, California. Second Lieutenant Jack Carter Reeves, Houston, Texas. Rodolfo Solis, El Paso, Texas. Cameron Wayne Stevenson, Roswell, New Mexico. Aurora Raquel Maria Vega, Roswell, New Mexico.
Second Lieutenant Luis Anthony Villanueva, Jr., Las Cruces, New Mexico. Fabian Anthony Ward, Roswell, New Mexico.
Let's go, Fabian!
Second Lieutenant Nicholas Michael Wolkoff, Gambrels, Maryland. The following cadets have received their high school diploma earlier this morning, and they have met the requirements to receive their associate's degree. Graduating with highest honors, Lacey Gail Ryan, Prescott Valley, Arizona. Graduating with high honors, Rianne K. Boyd, Farmington, New Mexico. Nathan Michael Davis, Prescott, Arizona. Tiana Christian Sochi, Avondale, Arizona. Graduating with honors, Camden Reese Cox, Rio Communities, New Mexico. Jasmine Jacine Munoz, Lynette, Alabama. Graduating with their associate's degree, Don Diego Woodruff Rains, Hallman, New Mexico. At this time, we would like to recognize a member of the junior college class of 2020, Colin Peter Protzeller, Corpus Christi, Texas.
On behalf of the New Mexico Military Institute family, congratulations to all the graduates of 2021. We are all very proud to have been part of this chapter of your education, definitely. All graduates and your families are invited to a reception under the tent over there, immediately following our ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of Cadets and Dean of Students, Colonel Thomas Tate, United States Army, retired.
Okay, thanks for staying the course through all this heat. So it's a wonderful day. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the graduates and your families, I would like to thank the Institute staff who planned and executed the commencement ceremonies today, and express my appreciation to faculty, administrators, and alumni who gave their time today to participate. Your presence means a great deal to our graduates. Graduates, it is time to turn your class ring around to signify your graduation. If you forget which goes where, remember that you wear the ring with the class year to the outside so that you can see the letters NMMI facing you, reminding you of your alma mater. And now, I would ask everyone to please stand as I invite Music Director Major Brady to lead us in singing of our alma mater, Old Post. Thank you.
This is our alma
Graduates, duty, honor, achievement. You are dismissed. Congratulations.
Graduates, please remember your actual documents are up here on stage.